Today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. Get all the latest updates from the Premier League and hundreds of other top fixtures from around the world, as well as the latest scores, videos, fixtures, stats, and more for everything related to football. Link is in the description. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So today, a little bit of a different video, a bit of a break from Master League, because I've got some exciting news here regarding stadiums. So I've basically added now 8 new stadiums to the Premier League. Okay, so we've got Craven Cottage, the Etihad, Goodison Park, we've got King Power Stadium, the London Stadium, Old Trafford's there, Stamford Bridge, St James's Park, St Mary's, Wembley Stadium. I think that might be it. So we've got a stash, absolute stash. I wanted to show you guys every stadium, how it looks. I've had to disable the turf because they're not really compatible with some of these stadiums. Hopefully I will put a tutorial out there, but it's a little bit... it's not the easiest thing in the world. You may need a little bit of knowledge. But anyway, so this is how it works. If we hit space, you guys will see this is the stadium server. Alright, now from here, because you can't see these in-game, okay, so if I actually go back here and go to Stadium, you can't see them, they're not there. You can see Old Trafford and you can see, right there, a few of them, but ultimately there's nothing, you can't find them from actually selecting them. So what you need to do is you hit space, and then from here, you hit 9, and you'll be able to choose. So we're going to start with Craven Cottage, so we can go through, as you can see down the bottom, that's where all the stadiums are, so you can go manually selected. Where on earth is the Craven Cottage? There it is. So that's it, that's done, it's finished. So let's dive into it now. I'll show you guys the stadium in all its glory, and I'm going to be doing this for every stadium that I have. Hope you guys do enjoy it. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and we'll be back with Master League probably tomorrow. So let's dive into this. So as you guys can see, there it is, Craven Cottage. Now, obviously, there's going to be a bit of clipping because this isn't officially in the game. They've all been imported, I believe, maybe from FIFA, I'm not sure. So yeah, you're going to see a bit of clipping at the beginning, but it's not really that. It's about the fact that when you play the match now, you're going to be playing at Craven Cottage. It's going to be smaller. You know, it's going to feel a little bit different from playing in the generic stadiums. You've also got all the banners around the stadium itself. I think it's a nice touch, I really do. It's going to add a little bit more depth to my Master League. Hopefully we'll be able to use them in Master League, and I don't see why not. But I'm going to give you a nice panoramic shot now, as I say, of all the stadiums in all their glory. Okay, so let's pan around the stadium and just show you guys Craven Cottage. As I said before, I don't really know where these have exactly been exported from. I mean, I'd probably say FIFA, because obviously FIFA has the licenses for all those stadiums themselves. But I mean, it's just nice, isn't it? To get to play in this now, it will give us a level of depth that we haven't had before, playing in the different stadiums. And they're pretty detailed as well, as you guys can see. Because I mean, if we sort of... Well, let's pan over here. I'm not going to be doing this for every stadium because I'll be here till next week. But, you know, you have all the little details, even the wall over here. Have a look at that. Some of the legends of the game. That's pretty classy. Established 1879. Obviously, the fans all sitting down. You've got the scoreboard and the massive screen right there. Just very, very detailed. Looks the part. There's the ticket hotline if you guys are wondering as well. www.fulhamfc.com. You've even got the signs for the fire exit, just in case you need to get out alive. So there we go. That is Fulham in a nutshell. Now let's move over to the next stadium, which is going to be... That's a good question, is it? I don't know. But we'll dive into the next one. So next up we have the Etihad Stadium. Now if you do actually have the newer Cider 5.1.2, which I don't right now, I need to update mine, then it will tell you which stadium it is. That's why it's not showing up beforehand. But we still have the Etihad Stadium. I know some of you guys have already seen it, but I want to put out every Premier League stadium now that I'm going to be having in my copy of PES. So there it is, Man City, Man United. Now let's have a quick gander around the stadium itself. So here we go, just panning around, obviously a little bit bigger than Craven Cottage. Now this was one of the packs that you actually get. You can select the Etihad, of course, from the stadium selection if you wish, along with the likes of Old Trafford and Stamford Bridge. So these are the ones I had before, but still, you know, detailed, looks pretty good, looks the part. The other stadiums might be a little bit more detailed because they've been sort of exported from FIFA. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I like to play around with them. And there we have it. There's the Man United section over there. You can insert any kind of Man City joke you would like now about how full up this stadium is. Compared to how normally it's not, is it, at the Etihad? We know the story. But what I do like about it is the fact that you can sort of go into the tunnel. And, you know, there's a little bit of detail in there as well, showing you the crests and the badges. And, hey, if it was actually able to go into the changing rooms, that'd be pretty cool. But there we have it. Pride in battle. There is the Etihad. Now let's move on to the next one. So next up is Goodison Park. Yes, home of Everton, of course. So we've got a bit of Everton and Liverpool just to make it the Merseyside derby. This one is not in the pack itself. It's a separate one. And as you can see, players walking through the stadium itself. But it's not about that. It's about playing in the stadium. The gameplay will be fine. There won't be any hiccups. You're playing on a pitch at the end of the day. You're not walking through tunnels. So, yeah, we'll take a look at the stadium in a little bit more detail as we have a look at Goodison Park. So here we go. We just pan it around. Show you guys all the details. I don't know, I really like the look of Craven Cottage so far. I think that one looked fantastic. Just because, you know, it's nice to have those little stadiums, isn't it? You don't get enough of them. I think Konami really need to just start putting in a bunch of generic stadiums as they don't have the Premier League license and just go from there. You know, you love a little bit of diversity, a bit of randomness, and just having those stadiums. So here's some of the banners you guys can take a look at. Scores We Riot. There it is. So you've got the banners. Yelovich, obviously a former Everton man. The People's Club on tour. Yeah, lovely, lovely, jubbly. So, detailed, looks quality, and that is a look at Goodison Park. So up next, the King Power Stadium, as you guys can probably tell by the board that has King Power Stadium written all over it. Home of Leicester City themselves, who've done a fine job over the last couple of years of solidifying themselves in the Premier League. Of course, winning it was a massive, massive accomplishment. Now, obviously, the fans are looking the wrong way. I mean, there are going to be pros and cons to these, but it still does look better than playing in a random stadium as opposed to the actual stadium. So I give you guys just a little brief look at the King Power Stadium itself. Now, the turf isn't the best. I have disabled the turf, but it's still a little bit blotchy in parts. I mean, some of them are more compatible than others. There is the fans facing the other way. You're not really going to notice it a whole lot once the match is actually playing. But you have the luxury of turning these on and off. So if you don't want to use this one, you don't have to. But I'm sure if you're a Leicester fan, you'd rather play in this than the old generic stadium. So next up, we have quite a nice stadium, the London Stadium of West Ham United. Of course, they recently moved there from their former stadium. Now, there is Mark Noble bringing out his side. But yeah, this is a pretty big stadium, it has to be said. Nicely presented, nicely done. I'll give you guys a quick tour in just a second. Any other tutorials, check them out on my channel. I have a lot of different ones about Evo Switcher, how to put the Premier League scoreboards in there and get all the modifications that you need to make the game look and play that much better. So here it is in all its glory. It is a whopper, isn't it? It's an absolute whopper. You've even got the West Ham United font down the bottom there, as you can see. Yeah, it's a massive stadium, isn't it, when you have a look at it. Certainly worth the money. And the other ones that we have coming, we've still got St James's Park to look at, St Mary's Stadium, Stamford Bridge, Wembley Stadium as well. So, there it is, the London Stadium for you guys. If you're a West Ham fan, I'm sure you'd love to play here. Just having a look, you know, like I said, the details. You know, they're all there. So even the seats themselves, you know, they're a bit blurry, but you're not going to get that close to them. I mean, but, you know, you've got a pretty good banner right here. Everyone's got the shades on. It's a sunny day. And, yeah, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? So, there we go. That is West Ham's home. So, there's a look at St James's Park, the one and only. Many, many memories, of course, from the days of, well, being title contenders, weren't they? When Alan Shearer was around and Ginola. Now, I remember those matches against Manchester United. I remember, that match? They lost 5-1 United against a Newcastle side. And was it Alberto Robert? Scored a ridiculous lob against Schmeichel. So, yeah, plenty of memories for the Newcastle fans. But the stadium does look the part for sure. So here it is. Newcastle United. Now these chants as well that you could probably hear in the background. Once again, all from mods, all being added to the game to make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more tantalizing and a bit of fun. So there is, see the subs bench, the tunnel itself, sportsdirect.com. I mean, look at that roof. Beautifully crafted. So yeah, very detailed, as I say. It's all these stadiums have got, you know, not just the stadium, but the fact that, you know, you've got the banners around there. Everything. It's all on show. Wonga. See the sponsorship. A full packed house. Yeah, it should really crank up the Master League, shouldn't it? Should make it really fun to play and see the different stadiums that we get to play in. There it is, Newcastle United. So, St Mary's Stadium, I'll look at one of the smaller ones in the Premier League. Southampton, of course. A former player and a player that I remember very well, Matt Letizia. I'm sure everyone remembers the goals that guy used to score. Was a right handful. I've obviously kept the sun out, make the stadiums look a little bit better. So just showing it off, 360 degrees. As I said, it is a smaller stadium, more compact. And the chants are chanting away in the background. They've done a pretty good job, certainly getting the chance to sound decent. And not corny. So there it is. Any Southampton fans, I'm sure you guys will be delighted that you get a chance to possibly play it on the PC version. Remember, this is all on the PC, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to pan over here because here we go. Look at that famous clock. So there's the seating. And the clock itself with the fans. Now, there aren't any others. That's one thing I did notice. No subs on the bench. So, I don't think you're going to get that. Obviously, you've got the two managers that are sitting there. And the tunnel itself. You can't actually go in the tunnel. Actually, you can go maybe a little bit in it. Let's have a look. Where they've got the exit sign right here. There's a double door. Some sort of a curtain there. So yeah, that's what you would get. Anything down here? No, there isn't. But as the players will come out, there it is. Beautiful. So we have Wembley Stadium, obviously the home of Tottenham Hotspur right now. Not forever. See, they'll have their own stadium once it's fully been completed. But still, Wembley is a fantastic place to go. Fantastic atmosphere there. as the players come out. Thought I'd do a bit of Tottenham, a bit of Arsenal. Classic matchup. You can see that the board itself is pink. I don't know what's happened there. A bit of pinkness going on, but you're not going to be able to see that once the gameplay has actually started. So, a 360 view again for you guys, just to take a look at it. Wondering what I'm using. I'm using NVIDIA's Ansel, however you say it. It's a nice little software you can use to basically move the camera anywhere you wish when you're in replay mode. So there it is. If we sort of pan down a little bit over to the subs bench. It would be cool if they were on the bench. Fortunately, that's not the case, but who let the Yids out? South London Yids. That's absolute comedy gold right there. Spurs, North Essex. And as we go into the tunnel itself, nothing too much, just a few little details in here. But it is a whopper though, isn't it? Can you imagine coming out of this stadium and having a look at that? How many does it hold? I don't know how many it holds, but I know it had 80-odd thousand with the Manchester United game last week. So there it is. That is Wembley Stadium. So we have Old Trafford, you guys know very well. If you've been watching my Master League playthrough, you would have seen it. But I thought I'd just show it anyway, I'd stick it into the mix, seeing as we are showing the Premier League stadiums that we have. And this one certainly looks the part. Old Trafford, I've been there a couple of times in my lifetime, and it is a magical place. It really is the theatre of dreams, as we know. So there is the Stretford end. Now the turf would obviously look much better during my gameplays, as I've disabled it for the time being, as it made some of the stadiums look terrible, but the turf didn't look the best. But there is the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. We all know him, don't we? Pretty well. Absolute legend. Now, the one thing about this stadium is you will get the subs on the bench, because this one is something you can choose. You can actually choose this stadium from within the options, unlike the other ones where they're pulling it from a different route folder. So as we sort of go over here, you know, we've still got all the banners down there. These colours don't run. Believe, together we are strong. You have the cameraman doing his business. What's happened to his leg? He's lost his leg. But yeah, there are the subs. They are sitting there waiting. And if you ever wanted a view from the subs bench, here it is. This is exactly what you will be watching if you are watching and playing at Manchester United and sitting on the subs bench. Okay, so the final one I'm going to show is Stamford Bridge, of course the home of Chelsea. Chelsea-Tottenham normally an enticing battle, so we stuck those teams together. But another one that you can choose from the stadium option itself. So yeah, this one does look great. So I don't know how many exactly. Let's have a look here. We've got Craven Cottage, we've got the Etihad, we've got Goodison Park, King Power, London Stadium, St James's Park, St Mary's, Stamford Bridge, Wembley Stadium, Old Trafford. So that's a good 10 stadiums now that we have. So taking a closer look. So we'll swing this round. There's Chelsea Football Club branding on the side. But yeah, we have about 10 stadiums now in the Premier League that we'll be able to use in our Master League. So that's quite exciting, to be honest, to have half the teams with actual official stadiums, considering normally, actually 12 out of 20, because remember you do have Anfield and the Emirates in there as well. So yeah, 12 out of 20 is not too shabby at all. One thing I just noticed right here is the box. Is this where the commentators are? Who is that? Who's in there? Hello? It would be quite funny if they had like John Motson and or whoever else does the commentary. So, oh, it looks like we've got. No, this isn't the commentary team. This is I don't know who's put that in there. kind of funny, really, isn't it? The VAR, maybe, going over some decisions. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is all the stadiums that I have in my copy of PES 2019. Hopefully, I will get a tutorial out, but it is a little bit finicky. So I don't want to rush it, and I want to make sure you guys understand what is going on. But until next time, subscribe for more, and take care.